Be more relevant.
Be more relevant.
Be more relevant.
Be more relevant.
Be more relevant is what I would think.
I don't think that customers hate to get ads, but I think that they hate to get completely irrelevant and unpersonal ads.
Be more relevant. Our research is indicating that people are willing to give up their privacy if it's something in return.
Be more relevant, definitely. People surely want to engage with your brand. They don't want to engage with dull commercial content. They want to engage with interesting content.
Be more relevant. For example, if your girlfriend or your wife is reading a Vogue magazine on her iPad and she's reading an article about hairstyles or hairdos, and she swipes to the next page and there she sees an advertisement of a hairstyle salon and she's able to make an appointment straight away. Then it is relevant.
Okay, so I guess it's safe to say that our expert panel thinks digital marketing should become more relevant for customers. And I'm going to have a conversation about this with James Trudgian, your head of strategy, data and insight at Adobe. Do you agree with the panel that ad blockers are here because we're not relevant enough for customers?
I agree that's the challenge. Most consumers want to be sold to. They buy, they consume products. If I look at the way that I use my my phone, my iPad, my desktop, there's a point in time when I need some new shoes, I need a shirt, and I want that to be personalized. I don't want ads to go away. I want ads to learn about my digital footprints. I want them to learn that when I've gone into a store or when I've complained to a call center, that when I next have an interaction on a mobile app or on a desktop, that's been recognized in a way that's not creepy, but will help me, that will acknowledge that that interaction has happened. So I think it should be welcomed. I think most people would. And many consumers just do not understand the technology anyway. They don't understand how digital marketing is pushed upon them. But they do know that they can get lots of benefits from those digital interactions. So personalizing it is the key.
Right, but it's still safe to say that ad blockers are pretty popular. I mean, 600 million people are using them on a desktop, it says an Adobe report. And Apple now even offers it as a basic feature, basically, on their phones. What does the popularity of ad blockers tell us about the current situation?
I think it tells us there's been, a lot of noise about ad blockers. It's been, more than just in the digital industry. It's been in the kind of consumer industry, so consumers are reading about this now on social networks and think, actually, it's easy for me to turn this off. But it's telling us that we're delivering them the wrong message, the wrong experience. Many consumers would not be able to tell the difference between an advert, a sponsored piece of content, or something that's actually not directed at them. They see lots of things flashing on the page that distracts them from doing what their conversion is, which may be reading the article or purchasing a good. So the relevance that the people there mentioned is the key.
So you're not worried about the rise of ad blockers?
No, and I think it's an opportunity. I think it really is an opportunity to say to marketeers that people are voting with their ad block technology. We don't want to have these things that are not relevant to us. If it's relevant, if it's actually identifying the customer and saying, you previously purchased this, or we know you've interacted with our site, we're going to serve you up something that's going to encourage you back. That would work, and I as a consumer would appreciate that, rather than just adverts flashing around that have no relevance to me.
Okay, so we can say goodbye to display ads?
No, not at all. I think we can say hello to more optimized ads and the marketeers learning from this and ways around it.
Okay, so this maybe should be less flashy so they're not distracting you by reading an article. Or apart from that, making better and more relevant display ads, how do you make your marketing more relevant? What are the keys there?
I think that the keys to more relevant marketing is listening to all those touch points you have with your consumer, and bringing all those touch points into a place that you can manage and you can create kind of more personalized segmentation. You know, in something like a data management platform where you can bring information from, you know, the store purchase behavior, online behavior, how that person's responded to a display ad, and then create segments and target content based on what you know about those people. That's where the technology can help.
Okay, and we already know some basic execution on that idea. I mean, when I know exactly when my girlfriend has used my laptop, because the next day I see all these ads for high heels everywhere. I guess that's not what you mean, right? I guess we need to go for a more sophisticated model.
Yeah, I mean that's more of a kind of a retargeting use case, looking at that machine, rather than looking at a user level and saying actually this probably isn't a male because they've searched, they're looking at this type of content. So it's listening to those signals, ingesting them, and adding more data points to it to actually get that personalization much more accurate.
And can you come up with an example of these kind of new marketing technologies?
Yeah, if you, for example, if you're a user looking to purchase a new mobile phone, and you'll do some research on that phone, and you might log into your current provider and not do anything, but then later on you'll go on your desktop and you'll log in. By stitching those profiles anonymously together, you can then offer me something relevant. You know that I'm in market to purchase, so you would personalize that content based on me. When I log out, then I would fall into a different segment, and you would show a totally different message.
And should you communicate that you're doing that, or is it... Because I know that a lot of people are responding to retargeting as they're following me, and I think it's kind of scary. Should we explain more what we're doing and why we're doing it?
I think there really is the opportunity to explain. I think digital marketing's working so fast now that consumers can't keep up. Our job is to make it simple to explain and actually say to the consumer, you know what, you might see more adverts, you might see more content, but what we're trying to do is make it relevant to you, so you will find the best offers for you at the time of day when you're in the mode to purchase or when you want to read a newsletter. And if we do that simply and say we're not interested in their personal information, but the influences, then I think we can.
Okay, let's have another look at a new expert panel video.
I think brands should invest in marketing automation and DMP, data management platform capabilities, rather sooner than later. Because those are the only capabilities that will allow them to follow their customers in every step of their journey.
The capabilities that brands should invest in, I think, is about insights, about data. And in big data, you can see patterns which you can't observe with your naked eye. And I think you can compare it with when you take a picture of a horse that is running, and you can see that a horse is with 4 feet above the ground. It's something that you can't observe with your naked eye. The same is true for data. You can see things that you can't observe without big data analysis.
I think they should invest on 2 things. One, on defining the customer experience, and number 2, on capturing the analytics, which is extremely important for them to refine the customer experience which has already been defined.
Of the capabilities they just mentioned in this video.
Out of those, I would pull out data management platform as the key to most marketeers, and I would pull that out for a couple of reasons. One is every customer has silos of data within their business. They'll have a call center, they'll have a person that runs analytics, they may have a retail store, and none of that information is being brought together at a customer level and being activated. What a data management platform allows companies to do is bring all those various siloed data feeds into one place and create profiles of users. So really try to get to a person rather than a device, and I think that's key. That will help power all of the marketing channels. I think analytics are important,
right?
And that will feed into that data source.
Just to make sure I understand you. Normally, when I go to your website with my iPhone, and then later with my tablet, and then later with my desktop, normal analytics see me as three different persons with with a different device.
Yeah.
But we need to go to systems where they would recognize it's the very same person and would combine that in one
Yeah,
profile.
the cross-device identity is a core part of how digital marketing can help our marketeers, because just go back 15, 20 years ago, there was that one-to-one marketing. There was a leaflet through the door that was addressed to you as a person, whereas now we're having all of these individual conversations with all of these different devices. The challenge is trying to get back to a people-to-people marketing metric, and I think stitching those devices together, which is one of the functionalities of data management platforms, can really help marketeers move beyond a unique user to a profile
I
and
like that,
personalize.
because, I mean, marketeers hear all the time, you need more data, you need to work with data, big data, et cetera, and I can think it can be a bit stressful. At some point you know, okay, I need more data, but I'm not sure what kind of data. And this could be a good start, I guess, by saying you have no idea who your users are, you just see them on different devices, but let's tie them together. That could be a first step.
Well, I really believe that marketeers should use their own first-party data, the data they own from analytics, call centers, retail stores, before anything else. They've got a rich treasure trove of information there that they've not actioned. And by bringing that together and deduplicating and trying to then use that to optimize display, on-site personalization, email campaigns, that will make the consumer happy, and it will make the marketeer much more focused and efficient. And I think this is early stages, but it's exciting.
Okay. Our keynote speaker later this afternoon will talk about the future, and he will look back at the innovation that led to the future. If you can join me in a thought experiment, if you have to think in 5 years how digital marketing will look like, what kind of new ways have you come up with, and other people from the industry, to become more relevant for consumers?
I think what will happen in the not too distant future, maybe not as far as 5 years, is I think the whole management of data and profiles, I think that will go back to the consumer. I think, and I'm not sure how that will monetize itself yet, but it will be, I'm James, I own my profile digitally and everywhere, and I can market my profile to advertisers and say, show me this, don't show me that. And I'll keep my profile up to date in whatever format that might be, and then I will let in certain marketing and not other marketing. But for those marketeers that are good and relevant to me, they will get much more, higher conversion from me because I want to engage. And I think that way everyone will learn. So the key thing I think the power will go back to the consumer to manage their kind of online identity.
Okay, so you give more power basically to the consumer. And by doing that, you surpass the ad blocks because, well, people are now in charge of what they want to see.
They're saying, please show me. Please show me, rather than don't show me.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing your insights.